What is the business advice that I would give to my best friends?
Do it. Do it.
So I actually do have a lot of friends that will ask me for business advice, and I know sometimes that bugs other coaches. Like I hear people say, oh, I hate it when people are asking to pick my brain. I don't mind when my friends ask me to pick my brain and they want to kind of talk business advice. But there's a couple things that I think are important. Sometimes people want like specifics. Amy, how do I do this? How do I do that? But when they just kind of come to me with like an idea, or they're wanting to get started, or they're wanting to make some changes in their business, or they're wanting to, do something new, like what is that kind of advice that I give them? So that's what we're going to do in this video. I'm going to give you some Biz Bestie tips, and I hope that you like them. I'm Amy Walker, and I am a small business strategist. So if you are new to the channel, I would love for you to hit the subscribe, hit the bell notification, so you can come back every time we release new content. So I want to preface this with, I don't like give clients bad advice or different advice than I would give my friends, but there's a certain way that you communicate with your friends that's a little bit different than you would ask somebody who you're paying them to help take care of you. So this is more just business advice that honestly, the difference is that when friends come to you, they're a little bit more direct and they're a little bit more honest.
You want answers?
I think I'm entitled.
You want answers?
I want the truth!
You can't handle the truth.
So one of the concerns that my friends often come to me with is okay, how do I actually do this? How do I actually have kids, be a mom, be involved in my church and my community, and grow a business? What does this really, really look like? And so my honest answer is that you're gonna have to adjust one thing or the other. You're gonna have to bring your pace and your goals down, or you're gonna have to bring your support and your help up. So when I started my first business, my oldest son, who was just getting ready to leave the house, was 4 months old. I mean, he was small. And so I've done the whole, work less to take care of babies. I have had all of my babies except for him while I've been in business. So I've done the whole being pregnant and nursing and all of that stuff. And I have had the experience of slowing business down to meet the needs of my family or increasing help. And I've done help in a lot of different ways. I've had kids in daycare. I've had nannies at home. I've had housekeepers. I've had, in the beginning where I couldn't afford any help, I traded. So once a week, my kids would go to my neighbor's house and they would play while I worked. And once a week, I would watch her kids and she would go grocery shopping or take a nap. So I've done a lot of different things, but what I know to be true is that you can't expect yourself to be Superwoman, and you can't expect yourself to go beyond your capacity. There's only so many hours in the day. There's only so much energy you have. There's only so much emotional capacity you have. And what I have found is that my kids are happiest when they have the full attention of somebody. And I love it when that somebody is me.
All right, we're gonna be at every soccer game. We're gonna be all over your ass about your grades.
Yeah.
And we're gonna buy you your first prom dress.
Yeah, and it's gonna be really, really pretty, but not too revealing, super sweet.
But sometimes that somebody is someone else, whether it's their dad or whether it's a babysitter or something. But they really, I used to feel guilty about this, that if I'm not the one that is with them all the time, then I'm somehow not being the mother. And I used to tell myself, I don't want to delegate out parenting. I don't delegate out parenting. Trust me, when I have a nanny come into the house, what they're doing is they are balancing the needs of, keeping the house in order and also keeping the kids managed so that I can parent them, because I'm not having to worry about the pile of laundry, or I'm not having to worry about all the dishes. I also had a concern that it was gonna somehow stop my kids from learning to be hard workers, and that has not been the case at all. My kids are really hard workers. Well, I mean, in every family, there's one who always tries to talk their way out of the chores, right? If we're being honest, I definitely have one of those, and he's relentless. But in general, as they're growing up, they're teachers and they're bosses and church leaders. They all really recognize them as being really hardworking kids. So them watching me balance work with pursuing my dreams has taught them more about hard work than they could have ever learned with me going to work for somebody else. So that's probably one big piece of advice. The other thing that I think I get a lot is, what is the cost really of success,
You want something, go get it. Period.
If I want to do this thing that I've been dreaming of, what is it really going to take? And it is going to be a price. Like, there's always a price to pay for everything, but it's not such a high price that you're really going to miss it. So for example, when I was building my business, here's some of the things that I cut out. I cut out TV entirely. Like, I did not watch TV for those couple years while I was in launch and growth mode. I cut out sleeping in. I cut out, I had a religious every Friday night movie date with my boys. So every Friday night we would go to the park, get pizza, and then we come home and have a movie party. But the other days of the week, like, I wasn't really taking them out and going to the park. It was different because we were in that launch mode. When we did that, we had an honest conversation where we sat the whole family down and we talked through, okay, mom's building this business. Here's what it's going to do for our family. This is going to make it so dad can be home and that we can work together. You're going to get to see your dad so much more. But while we're building it, it's going to be a lot of work. So, and we even cut personal expenses, and we talked about it. Like, we're not going to go on vacation this year. We're going to get rid of our cable. But what we're going to do is every Friday night we're going to have a movie party. And when you guys come home from school, like, I'm going to be here to help you with your homework. But then when you get done and you go out to play, I'm going to be doing some work again. And so we really set the context, and they were smaller at the time, but we still, when something's changing in business, we still have those kind of conversations of like, okay guys, this is what's going on. This is where we're at. This is the goal. This is what's in it for all of our family at the end. When we hit this goal, this is the benefit for all of us. And then we ask for their support.
Hey, what if we sing a camp song, huh?
Okay, sounds good.
So are there sacrifices? Yes. Have my kids made sacrifices? Absolutely. I am not at every single one of their things, but they know that I make it a priority to be at all of the important things. So if they've got a solo or a concert, like, I'm going to do my absolute best to be there. And they still feel loved. They still feel supported. But honestly, even just between 5 kids, sometimes they have stuff going on at the same time, and we have to pick, is this a regular game or is this an important thing?
Jack, next season I'm coming to 6 games, I promise.
Be sure to buy enough videotape.
And so they've just learned, I think, to be prioritizing. Now, I do not think this is a bad thing for kids to realize that they are not the center of the universe and that we have to prioritize what's most important. I feel like it's created good relationships between the siblings for them to support each other and recognize that my stuff is not always what matters most. Sometimes this sibling's thing is more important than, what I have going on. So there is a price to pay. I don't want you to go into it thinking that your family is going to not have to pay the price, because it's not realistic, you guys. There's a price to pay for everything, and there will be sacrifices. But the real question is, what are the rewards? Like, what is in it for your family? For mine, it's a huge part has been being able to have access to their dad. Because before he came and started working with me, they really didn't see him very much. And I remember when my kids were small thinking like, okay, I got this parenting thing. I'm good without Steven being here. And when they hit those teenage years, oh my gosh, did we need him? Because I was like, I have never been a teenage boy in my life. Don't understand this thought process, this behavior. I don't get it at all. And so that has been a huge positive.
Anything else you want to talk about?
Did I mention I don't like you very much?
Yeah, you mentioned that, yeah.
Then I'm good.
Okay, me too.
So another big thing has been being able to make decisions based on what's best for our family, and whereas we used to always make every decision based on just what we could afford. So there is a price to pay. I think it's worth it. My kids would tell you that it has been worth it. It doesn't mean that they like every part of it. Do they like the fact that they feel like they do more chores and help more around the house than their friends? Nope. Until they get to a certain age, and then they just look at it as like, I'm glad that I'm a really hard worker. You know what, actually I get asked a lot is they'll say, honestly, Amy, do you even think that this is gonna work? And here is my honest answer to this. It can work, but are you committed to making it work, and do you love it enough to jump in and pursue it, like without dipping your toe? Because I feel like when you dip your toe into anything in business, honestly, anything in life, and you say, well, I'll just give it a try and I'll see how it goes, then you hit that cold water and it shocks the system and you're like, ooh, no, not for me.
No, no, mm-mm, mm-mm, no, 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 no.
I really honestly think you just got to decide beforehand, do I really want this? Are the benefits going to outweigh the cost? And then you got to jump in with full on commitment. I don't think anybody should get married saying, you know, we'll give it like 6 months to a year, see how it goes, right? That doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense in business either. If you're in, really be in. So it's not a matter of like, do I think it can work? It's a matter of, do I think, well, not even me, this is a question you need to ask yourself, like, are you willing to give it what it takes to make it work? That's the honest question that you should be asking.
Whatever it takes.
All right, so we're friends, right? Like, we're besties. So if you want to have more conversations like this, leave me a comment down below and let me know maybe some of the questions that if you had a business bestie that you would want to ask them, and we'll answer those in future videos. So if you're new to the channel and you want more content like this, then go check out another one of my videos, 5 growth hacking techniques, and it will help you understand how to really create growth in your business. Also, if you want more than a biz bestie, like you actually want someone to be in your strategy, make sure that you take our GPS, our sales and marketing GPS. It'll take you like 10 minutes to answer the questions, but it's really gonna break down what is working or not working in your sales and marketing. And then we will give you an improvement plan, and we'll give you a strategy for what you need to have in place and also help work with you on it. So that's a free tool for you. I encourage you to go grab it. The link is down below. All right, friends, my besties, go out there and be amazing.